Yeah,
This is where people come at me. This is where you guys will come at me.
Okay.
I don't think we have AI.
Okay.
Okay.
What we have is not artificial intelligence.
Okay, what do you think we
I
have?
would say it's just advanced Google.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the PalmTechnIQ podcast, where we're going to be talking about everything and anything about tech. My name is Temitope Paul Bamidele, and with me I have
Paul. Hi, Bami Paul.
and
Mouse is good.
today we're going to be deliberating on the topic: is AI a curse or a blessing? We've actually had this conversation between ourselves, and we had a lot of disagreements concerning our standpoints on things, because I personally believe that AI has its advantages and its disadvantages, and my friends obviously thought differently. So I'd like to throw this question at Paul. Paul, do you know of any notable benefits that AI has been to the society?
Okay, so for me, it has increased a lot of things for me, right?
Yeah.
I've been able to come from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds or
Yeah.
minutes, right? So normally, the traditional process I usually go through when I get a new client is that I draft out a proposal to them and I send it to them, right? But then recently, what I just do is I just move straight to the MVP phase, where I can just create an MVP for that particular product and send it to them, right? So when I send it to them, they're like, oh wow, that's actually fast, and we just do the modifications. Do you understand? So that's in a way a blessing to me, because I've gone from sending proposals, going back and forth, to just sending the MVP at once and then just doing the corrections there, right?
So Ezekiel, what do you think about this? Because I mean, from the beginning you were like, I'm against it. I'm against it. So
It's
I just want to know
anti-AI.
from your point of view, like why are you so against the artificial intelligence? What has AI done to you? What is the torment of this AI?
AI has done a lot, because
Okay.
let me come back to the basic of basics in
Yeah.
education. Yeah, that's where I'll start from. In my time, when we were in school, if they give you assignments, you're supposed to cry over the assignment. You get now, you're supposed to cry. Like, I don't get
Yeah, I feel
that. I
you.
cry over my assignment. But now, 1 2 seconds, I see students that I teach, they have come up with this, like, they don't even have problems anymore. Some people
Yeah.
lose their problem solving skills. I mean, some adults don't even know how to write letters anymore.
True.
No, I think that's where the problem is coming from, because
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be it. It's supposed to be a guide, right?
It's supposed to be a guide.
It's supposed to be a
yeah.
guide, actually. So you're not supposed to dump your problems on the AI, right?
True.
You're supposed to have like a concept or an already written out plan, and then use the AI to tweak
This
and
is
modify.
where
Swing
people.
it,
This is where
that's it.
people come at me. This is where you guys will come at me.
Okay.
I don't think we have AI.
Okay.
Okay.
What we have is not artificial intelligence.
Okay. What do you think we
I
have?
would say it's just advanced Google.
Okay.
Because as a computer science student, yes, what I know is that there's just a huge bank of research and people's work. That when you ask AI questions, it just goes there and brings it out for you. Because come on, let's first define it. AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence is a big word. It's not just going to get something and throw it back at my face.
Yeah.
Intelligence is emotional balance. Intelligence is imagination. Intelligence is decision making. AI doesn't have that.
In the form
Yes,
of
but okay, go ahead.
in the form of this context, right?
Yeah.
Most of those things are not necessarily attributed to it, right? The reason why I'm saying this is because what you're saying is not necessarily true. So, take for instance, this normal Spotify DJ, right?
Yeah.
It goes through your playlist, looks at the history of things that you've learned based on the music that you've listened to, and a lot of other things. It creates something that it thinks would be suitable to you based on the history that you've gone through,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes it can suggest songs or music that you've listened to before,
Yeah.
but then other times it suggests different sounds in relation to what you already have. Take for instance the genre of the music you get, and sometimes it throws in this speech that makes you feel like, okay, I'm actually talking to a live DJ. Do you understand that kind of thing? So
Yeah.
not, what you're saying is not necessarily true.
They should name it deep sad.
So I understand the both of your perspective. I believe that AI is a blessing and it can also be a curse. And I actually agree with Ezekiel concerning this, because it has made a lot of people so lazy.
Yeah.
Like, and this was my point when I had this argument with my pals some time ago. I'm like, people don't even want to think about any problem anymore. They just go online, they type whatever it is, and AI, and I mean, it just answers everything to them. Yes, AI does not have the emotional intelligence, but it does not still take away from the fact that it is still an artificial intelligence. That's where I do not agree with you. Because AI is biased, like it is programmed. With just like you said about the Spotify music, how it takes your music, it's what's it called? It monitors what you've been listening to. It monitors like your repetitive task. That's what it does. And it masters it. And that's why it recommends what is good for you. And me personally, I feel like AI has actually done a lot of good in the society. It has helped us in the medical field.
Right.
Like now, a lot of the medical diagnosis, like sicknesses and all of that, also cures, medicines, and everything. Cybersecurity wise as well, hospitality wise as well. There are so many ways that AI has attributed to our
I mean,
society.
it actually does do these simulations of operations
It
sometimes,
does that.
right? Medically, right? So,
So
the different
yeah,
things.
so I mean, so this brings us to the next question. Do you think AI actually creates more opportunities than the damages? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's going to replace humans?
Okay, so what I'm just going to say is, building on what Ezekiel said the other time, right?
Yeah,
Uh, you need a level of dedication from your part, right?
yeah,
You cannot just go on and dump. I'm not saying that AI is all good. Everything that has its advantages would definitely have disadvantages, right? So I'm not saying go there and just dump all your problems on it.
yeah,
You're not dumping your problems on it. You need to have a direction. This is what you want to do. You've structured it already, right?
yeah,
And then apply AI, right? So now, when you're able to effectively apply AI, right,
mhm,
then it will not be taking your job from you, right?
yes.
Because any new technology that comes and does things a little bit better, you can learn how to do that and take yourself further in that regard. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So that's what me I think. That's what I think.
So in this context here, I actually read something on the Harvard Business Review, and it said AI will not take your job away from you. Humans who use AI effectively will take your jobs.
Bam.
That's just it.
Bam.
And
I have an
yeah,
approval from my side.
it's the truth.
But
Because when it comes to things like data keeping, data analysis, these are repetitive tasks. AI can do that. Now, when you're talking about hard labor, those jobs AI cannot take away. And AI cannot be a therapist, and AI cannot be a counselor because it does not have the emotional intelligence that these people do have.
so right now
Yeah.
we're taking a sharp right turn to my angle.
Yes.
Welcome back home, guys.
No, 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 no,
You guys
no.
have showed. Now you guys are
Yes,
back
we
with me.
agree with you too.
Because that's still my whole idea for
Yes.
saying this thing. Now, right now, what we have is not artificial intelligence. Because if you look at it, sincerely looking at it, from the early times of the early scientists that came up with the concept of artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
it was just that computer or technology reaches a stage where it's able to think and analyze for itself.
Yeah.
Now, AI can't run without human application, but true artificial intelligence is meant to run without human application. Because even if you use something like the common one, like OpenAI,
Okay, so sorry. I have something to say about that, right?
Okay.
but
So-
please just hear what I'm saying now,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
So if it can't do that on its own, even right now, the popular one, artificial OpenAI,
Yeah.
right now, sir, there are some things you have limits on doing. Like I
Yeah.
decided to test the limit of the AI, and I went to say, okay, since this is artificial intelligence, right,
Yeah.
it's able to relate, supposed to relate to me one on one.
Mhm.
And I asked it, okay, so I want to name you something as simple as
Oh yeah, I remember.
I want to
think
name
saw
you
that, yeah.
this, and yeah, I was like, sorry, it's not part of my program. I'm not allowed by true intelligence. The reason why human beings are able to be stubborn or diversify from something is because they have the ability to make their own choices. They
Yeah.
can
So
take
have you
what they
heard of
want.
the 3 laws of robotics? Right?
Okay.
So anybody building an AI needs to have a limit to what it can do. Otherwise, the future, whatever it is, invasion of aliens or whatever that Armageddon is, I don't know what they call it, will eventually happen. Do you get?
Yeah.
So at some point in time, there needs to be like a limiter to what you can do, right? You don't want to create something that will just determine that, okay, at the end of the day, human beings are the problem. of the earth. So let's just annihilate human beings, and then it has access to military grade weapons and all
That
those
is the
stuff.
problem.
That's
That cannot happen because they are not sentient.
That's the point. We're not making them sentient. It's different
Who
between.
says you can? Even if you're going to make the AI sentient, it would have to be taking an already existing human neural pathway and applying it. And that alone is not AI already.
The fact that it has not happened doesn't mean it can never happen, right? So what we have today, if somebody told you years ago that something can do this, you'd literally disagree.
So
Yeah.
right?
this is actually what I'm saying. I'm not saying we can't have AI. I'm
Yeah.
saying we don't have AI. Let's not make the future people look at us and be like how we see our forefathers when they will say something like these people don't know anything. How were they living back then? That's how we're going to make ourselves look like to people of the future. With what we're calling AI, it's just going to be an embarrassment that we are calling such menial technology.
So what do you suggest we call this if it's not AI?
Can we call it deep searching or advanced web crawling?
I mean, people call it machine learning. Actually, it's more like machine learning instead
Exactly.
of
It's still in the developmental stages. It's not at the point where we can give it the tag artificial intelligence. And as you're saying about jobs, it cannot take human jobs.
No, it can take some jobs, like your grading system. I mean, you as a teacher, you as a teacher, now you do not need to go through the stress of actually marking notes anymore. You can just put it on. Like now, people write e-exams, and those e-exams, once you're done,
Even on the
you can generate your
PalmTechnIQ
results
website, on PalmTechnIQ
immediately.
website, we have the
So,
chatbots, right? That automatically answers
There are
questions.
jobs
that you
like
want
data
to do.
keeping. Data keeping
Yeah.
can be done by AI. They are simple. These are repetitive tasks, which really do not require human effort.
But they need somebody to monitor that repetitive
Yes,
task.
that is
like
not
what I'm saying.
disputed.
You cannot really take away the function of human in a particular job, because even the
We're
marking
not
that you
doing
said,
that.
you need a teacher to actually teach before you give them to write, monitor
need
the
to
Yes,
learn.
exam.
we're not
They need to
disputing
learn
what
this.
you're saying.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm disputing what you're saying,
Okay.
right? What I'm saying is AI, right?
Yes.
When it is created, it's just like a baby. It doesn't know anything, right? You need to teach it. So the inputs need to come in, right? It gets to a point when it can decide that, okay, based on what I've learned in the past, this is actually better than this, right? Are you saying that there are no AIs that does that at the moment?
No.
So you can tell me that you're telling me now that there is no AI that will tell you, okay, based on the history of our conversation, I believe that this response is more suited to you than this other response.
And even there are even cases whereby
it's a learning
you
curve.
say, like, when you actually check out, let's say you check for something online, like let's say you're looking for a window, you automatically start seeing it on your Instagram. Do you get? You start seeing it. It has already picked up the data. If you Google it now, like Google window on Jumia or Konga, if you open your Instagram, you start seeing windows there because it has already picked up on the data.
That is
because of cookies
way
and all those
different
stuff,
from
right? I think it's
AI.
No.
And when I'm coming to you, what you said about them having to learn to
Right.
the point that the reason why I'm still going to be against this thing is that they are only doing actions that you have given them, right? Human beings are subject to change.
And that is why
Human beings are subject
we're
to
actually
change.
going to talk about this.
Just
It's
something
called
like-
bias in AI,
Okay.
where what you have taught it's just what you're talking about. What you've taught the AI to do, that's the results, like the output of it. So there's a bias in AI which we already know about.
Right. So let me now use this is actually to my advantage, right? So this
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
It's fine.
Let me give an
Yeah.
instance. I'm a very intelligent or intellectual person, right?
Okay.
And I sometimes have a breakup,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I go to drink, and
Yeah.
I become very sentimental rather than logical.
Yeah.
And I started to ask the AI questions. Where I say something, instead of giving me a response that suits me, it start giving me something that, from what I have before, that doesn't suit my particular situation. So it is not subject to change. It does not understand situations unless you first teach it to.
Yes.
So it is
You need to teach.
That's what we're
right?
saying.
You
That's
need
what we're
to teach it.
saying.
intelligent. It's just making
The
use
AI
of
cannot
these available
understand it because of the
resources.
bias in it already. It's already programmed. It's whatever they've taught it, that is what it will give you an
See,
answer to.
I'm actually not against what you guys believe, but on my own part, you can't convince me.
Okay. We're going to just wrap this up and we're going to throw this to the audience. Do you think AI is a curse or a blessing? Please subscribe to us at PalmTechnIQ.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on our website, PalmTechnIQ.com. We can't wait to have you. Bye.
And please, this is not AI. Let it in the comments. It is not.